Hey guys, welcome to another little video here for you. This is Julius Caesar Act 4. This is for the benefit of those of you who are staying at home these days. If you're coming into school, maybe this can help you as well. That's great. Okay, we all know what's happened in Act 3. It got very intense with the funeral and then the tragic assassination of Cinna the poet, not Cinna the senator. Now, Act 4, Scene 1 begins in Antony's house. This is actually about a year after the assassination of Caesar, although in Shakespeare's play it seems that it's happening straight away. As you can see in the stage direct or in the summary here, Antony, Octavius, Lepidus now are the rulers of Rome, the three of them together. What I want you to do as you read this, look at the way particularly Antony is speaking. Look right here. Let's get the annotation. Here we go. So look right here what he says. These many men shall die. Their names are pricked. He's referring to senators involved in the assassination of Rome, of Caesar, and beyond just that as well. Think about how that compares to the Antony we met in Act 3 as well. I also want you to look carefully at how Antony refers to Caesar's will. Remember, in Act 3, Caesar's will was a very important dynamic in the funeral. We discussed that in class today. Look here now, what he says: Lepidus, get you to Caesar's house, fetch the will hither, bring us the will, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge in legacies, how we can pay people less money. That's a huge change right there that we've seen in Antony compared to the Antony we saw before. So I want you guys to think about how we're seeing a different Antony here. That's going to be part of the assignment for this act for you. And just in this short scene, if we have a look here, if we just go down a bit. Oh, hello, sorry about that. Just look as well. So right here, Lepidus, who's part of this group of power, Antony doesn't really like very much. And just look how he refers to him there as being a horse. And I want you to see as you read this act why he doesn't think Lepidus is particularly useful, why he wants to make sure that Octavius also doesn't think that Lepidus is useful, but also just look at the way that he refers to him. Again, how does that compare to the Antony that we saw, that we met in Act 3? I really want you to be thinking about that as you read. Okay, let's just clear up here. Clear all my drawings, let's take the annotation. Okay, so it's a short scene that starts off Act 4. Scene 2 is also a short scene. We're in Brutus's tent. What I want you to notice is that Brutus is not with Cassius. They are physically separated at this point. Both are leading separate armies. They've got groups of men behind them, but they're not together right now. But there's some key lines to be looking out for. So Brutus saying here, look at that annotation circle. So just saying that here, he greets me well, your master, Pindarus. He's referring to Cassius right there. In his own change or by ill officers, have given me some worthy cause to wish things done undone, but if he be at hand, I shall be satisfied. Saying that, you know, perhaps with Cassius away, he started to get a little bit worried. You know, were his actions justifiable? It shows that these seeds of doubt that we've spoken about before with Brutus may well be developing a little bit more. I just would also like to draw your attention. Let's clear up these drawings here. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. So initially, these two men are communicating together through a servant. But if you just have a look here, when they are reunited, you know, obviously a lot's been happening in the meantime. Just have a look at the first lines of interaction right here. So Cassius, the first thing he says, there we go, more or less underlining, my noble brother, you have done me wrong. So we can see that there is tension between these two men right now. You know, they're still in the fallout of being involved in this conspiracy, being leaders of this conspiracy. And now we can see the tensions that we spoke about right back in Act 1 where they both did seem to represent different ideas that developed in Act 2 and Act 3. It's really causing them problems right now. So as you read Act 2, what I really want you to focus on for me is what is causing the tensions and problems between Brutus and Cassius. That needs to be your focus of, sorry, not Act 2, of Scene 2 of Act 4. I am referring entirely to Act 4. If I get confused, bear with me. Okay, so let's clear that. Let's move to Scene 3. Let's try that again. Okay, Scene 3, there's quite a lot I just want to draw your attention to. Now, again with Scene 3, I really want you to focus on the relationship between Brutus and Cassius. There's a lot of tension between the two. They're in Brutus's tent. Cassius is there. But again, we've got this idea, just look here, that Brutus and Cassius are not that united. And in fact, there's quite a lot of nasty accusations going on here. So, hang on, let's try that. I can do a better circle than that. How about this one right here? Look at what actually Brutus says to Cassius right here. Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are condemned to have an itching palm to sell and mark your offices for gold. He's accusing Cassius of being corrupt. Remember why they got rid of Julius Caesar? Because he was the corrupt dictator leader of Rome. And now Brutus is saying to Cassius that he himself is the corrupt one. So we can see these problems are emerging very much between the two of them. That tension escalates for a little bit in this scene. And I just want to show you how much it escalates. I'm going to scroll down right here. Because, and okay, people in Shakespearean time can be a little bit melodramatic. You know, we have to remember that. But just look at their interaction. Remember these. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let's try that again. Come back. Oh, it's gone right back to the beginning, but that's okay. We can scroll down. Remember, these were the two supposed allies on the quest for a better Rome. But, you know, if you look here, for example, you know, they're both saying who's the better soldier. So just look at these lines from Brutus. You say you are a better soldier. Let it appear so. Let it appear so. What are they doing? What are they challenging each other to? To a fight. But that would be a fight to the death as well. So again, this is unraveling very, very quickly, this relationship between the two men. There's obviously a lot of tension going on, and it seems that those difficulties that we've been seeing all along are going to be exposed that much more. Now, as the scene moves on, they do manage to reconcile their differences. So as you guys read, I want you to look at how they manage to reconcile their differences. We also get some important news as to why Brutus is feeling so tense at that point. And that is, let's see if we can get it right here. That is the news that it's just here. That Portia, Brutus's wife, is dead. Brutus has found out that she's dying. What I need you guys to look at is why has she's killed herself? Why has she killed herself? And how has she done it? The how is very important for symbolism. The why is very important for us to understand the subplots going on in the play as well. So I want you to look out for that as you're doing the reading. Then the final couple of parts of this scene, very important. We have two characters come in. They're right here, Titinus and Messala. And they're going to bring some very important news. So the first thing they're going to say is right here. So look at this news right here that they have from Rome. Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators. 100 senators. That's more than the people who were executing Julius Caesar. Don't forget, have been killed by Mark Antony, Lepidus, and Octavius. Just think about that as well. Think about how that compares to the Antony of Acts 3. So this is serious news that is being sent there. Now, you can't really see it because I've sort of gone and written over it, but Cicero being one. Remember that Cicero was not included as part of the conspiracy. They made the decision not to include Cicero. So it just shows, as we saw with the execution of Cinna as well, how indiscriminate this violence is becoming. So that's the first part of the news that they're going to bring. The second part, we need to scroll down a little bit. The second part, scrolling down. is, let's see, right here. Okay, maybe I might have just gone too far there. Sorry, my scrolling down facility. Is relating to this news right here. I've not got quite the correct reference, but we'll bring it up right here. Here we go. Yes, we've got it right here. Sorry about that. The other important news is that in addition to killing people, Octavius, Mark Antony, and Lepidus Octavius and Mark Antony have moved out of Rome. So they've killed their senators. They're now moving out, and they are moving their army towards Philippi, outside of Rome. So they're moving towards an attack. So Brutus and Cassius, they need to decide what they're going to do about that. And you won't be surprised to know they're not going to agree with each other. So what I need you guys to do as you look, as you read, is I want you to decide, what does Brutus think they should do? What is Brutus's idea for how they're going to deal with Antony and Octavius's men who are marching towards Philippi? And what does Cassius think they should do? And then as part of that, what I need you to focus on for me is whose argument is going to be the one they decide on what to do, and what are the possible implications of that for their relationship and for military strategy. Now, we have dramatic irony. If you know your history, you know what happens in the battle which we're building up to here. If you do that, that's obviously adding to the dramatic irony, because it might make you want to shout and scream at these characters to tell them that they're embarking on military disaster. But have a look. How do Brutus and Cassius disagree with what should be done? The final part of this act is slightly different, but is very important to Shakespeare. It's the appearance of a ghost. You can probably guess what ghost appears. It is, of course, the ghost of Julius Caesar. And he says something very important, a very symbolic line in this play, which he says to Brutus, because the ghost appears to Brutus. He's asleep. The night before they're going to march to Philippi, the ghost appears to Brutus in kind of this waking dream. Remember, again, these guys were close before. And this is what the ghost has to say to Brutus: to tell thee, to tell you, thou shalt see me. You're going to see me at Philippi. That's where they're heading the next morning. Caesar's ghost is coming to warn Brutus that he will be there to see him at Philippi tomorrow. Now, in Act 2, we talked about the importance of omens in Act 1 as well. As you read this, I want you to think about what impact this is going to have on Brutus, this idea of Caesar's ghost telling him he's going to see him there, and why this might be a very important omen in the play. Okay, that's it for my summary. I'm going to post the assignment that goes with this. You have until tomorrow's class to turn that assignment back to me. So before we meet tomorrow on Thursday, which is when we're going to review Act 5 together, this needs to be back to me. Filena, Rodrigo, Hernaldo, you guys are in charge of tracking Act 4. Make sure that document is up to date. The whole document, remember, needs to be completed by Friday. I recommend updating as you read so that it's fresh in your mind. You can go, you don't need to go back and remember. Any questions, let me know. You can contact me during the class period or other points during the school day, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Really hope this video has been helpful. Take care, guys. Stay safe, stay happy, and we'll be in touch soon. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye. Now I just need to stop.